All I do is go QuickBooks.
It's your desktop.
That's good.
I feel like I miss you guys. I haven't seen you in a while.
I know, a whole weekend.
But it was like, it was loading things fast.
Oh.
We got stuff last night today.
7 of the times.
You got here good timing.
Yeah, that was good.
Look at this, Gillian. Look at this. Look at this mug, Gillian.
What?
Represent.
Atlanta. Martin Luther King.
Why Atlanta?
Are you going to the Allianz event
I
this
will
week?
be there, yeah.
Yeah, I was at the
You're
Allianz
good to
event.
go, right? You know that, right?
Oh yeah, you're gonna go?
Yeah, I'll be there.
I'll be there Thursday. I'm gonna drive
Oh,
at 5:30. Do you?
I'm really
I was
bummed
like,
because I wanted to go,
They have
but
the
my other
sessions that are
one
interesting,
couldn't
so
make it
I'm
work.
like, oh, how is it?
Did you get the email for the
I got the
schedule?
email, so I get Thursday, but Friday it was like, the sales forum starts at 12.
I thought it ends
Oh,
at
ends
12.
at 12, so I mean, like, what happens in between it? I guess I was looking for more of an agenda.
All right.
Let me know if you want to drive.
Well, I live. No.
She lives in
She
LA.
lives in LA.
Oh, you live in LA?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
She's there now.
you're there.
Yeah, I'll be there.
All right, guys, so good morning, beautiful people. How's everybody doing?
Beautiful.
Let's try that again. So good morning.
Good morning.
Wake up. All right. Before we bring up our guest screener, just want to do let's do some recognition. Who went on the field this week?
Me.
All right. Okay. Who did more than one appointment? All right. Who did more than 2? All right. Who did more than 3? Who did more than 4? Who did more than 5? More than 6?
I'll do 6 tomorrow.
All right. She counting on Sunday, right? Good job, guys. Right. So I see some people really after it. You know, I've been seeing Gail busy every day. So I've been in that office, just have people come in and out. You know, I see Isaac in the field, making things happen. Good job. Anybody write business this week? Help a family. Put an app through. All right. What'd you do, Neeyah?
I did 2 apps in a row over.
Good job, buddy. Good job, right? Yeah, what'd you do, bud?
I'm in the process of, but it's been confirmed that I'll be rolling over 65K.
You ready to this week yet?
Not yet, man. Everything is in the pipe.
What? Donuts?
Okay.
I know, right?
That's good. I did 4,300 points on Thursday, right? So,
Cool.
and this was my old client from WFG days. So, she had a Transamerica IO that I did in 2008. It's been 10 years. So we 1035 exchanged that cash into National Life Group with living benefits now, right? So
There you go.
Easy.
very
Take
happy
care of
about
it.
that. Yep. So taking care of that. So good stuff. Guys, let's see what else we've got coming up. Obviously, we have this Allianz event, so I will not be here Thursday and Friday. I'm gonna be up in LA. I know Jessica's gonna be there for the Allianz event. Lola's coming out from Arizona. Myself. So I won't be around Thursday and Friday, but we will have training on Saturday. So right now, okay, I'm not gonna do a fast start for anything less than, fast start school for anything less than 3 new associates. So, you know, that's why I was kind of following up to see how we're looking, right? These new people, we gotta push them through. So we either gotta get them going or not, or just say, hey, they're not gonna be a fit, right? We gotta get these guys going. So new associates that you have on the hook, kind of let's get a confirmation. I know we got Krista, right?
I'm working for today.
Right,
We're gonna
Krista.
get 2 out of the 3 done,
Right.
and then we gotta show 2 more people for her.
Perfect.
And also, Letty's signing up on.
Yeah, so we'll be
Okay,
touching
yeah.
base with her. Right, yeah, I know Letty should be here this morning. So, are you for the capitalism group?
Yes.
They're right upstairs.
I'm so sorry.
No, it's okay. Okay, good. So if we manage to get 3 people qualified, right? I'll go as late as Thursday, then we'll make Saturday a fast start school. We'll still do training, okay? If not, we're just gonna do regular training, okay?
Is
Let's
there
see.
anybody beside Krista on the board to get?
We have, well, it's mostly the people that are coming through your pipeline, right?
So, I don't see Monica.
And Tamara, right? So,
Oh, and tomorrow. So that
Tomorrow.
would be 2 for sure if we can get Megan.
yeah.
She's not here.
So we'll, on Monday morning, I know Gail's not gonna be here, but on Monday morning, we'll really go through that HB filter to see what we got going on. Okay, let's see what else is going on. Anything I'm missing out, any announcements? I feel that there's something I'm forgetting to tell you guys. Well, the book of the month, I have it in my office,
The next big
Right.
It's
one.
right here.
do you have it,
Well, it's my book.
right?
It's really
This
good.
is a really great book, okay? It's a quick read, you know, but this is, if you're in team building and, you know, we know once you get into team building, you start to realize the difficulties of building a team, right? Because
Yeah.
you're dealing with personalities, you're dealing with different, you know, you're dealing with different people, and so this is a great book right here. All his books right here, I ordered all his books on a bundle special on Amazon, but he's a really good writer. This is written in a story. It's a really, really good book, right? You could probably read this in 1 or 2 sittings. It's not hard. You're actually kind of, the storyline starts sucking you in. You know, so the 5 dysfunctions of a team, get this book, right? You guys are all working in leadership positions, whether you're leading yourself or leading other people. You really want to make sure you're
Powerful.
I gotta say something, because I asked you for those books, because I had 4 Audible books. And Winning with People, I could not believe how much it talks about teamwork, and it's such a good book.
That's an incredible book.
It's an incredible book, so I can't wait to dig into this book after getting done with that. It's gonna be good.
Same author?
No,
Patrick
That's John Maxwell.
Lencioni.
Patrick Lencioni, right?
Yeah.
The Winning with People is the same.
No,
author?
John
that's
Maxwell's
John
Winning with
Maxwell.
People.
John Maxwell, it's really
That's
good.
such a great book. Got me
Right.
crying.
So, when I spoke to Neeyah, we spoke before the big event, and you know, she's really stepping up her game up in LA, and one of Neeyah's strengths is really structured organization, something I need more in my life. And you know, we talked about ZOHO maybe a few months back, and how we can organize that, and she really just kind of cracked the code with that. And you know, if you have goals this year, I think the goal for District Financial as a whole was to help out 1,000 clients this year, right? But if you break that individually, if you would just really set a goal for you to personally, you know, and this is really something you're serious about, to go out there and write 100 apps in the year of 2019, you need a software that's gonna correct you. So for example, she was telling me things over the phone, and she's like, you know, you guys remember when Brittany was talking about, if you have clients that have, like, say, a 10-year term, and you wanna convert them to a permanent,
You gotta track
right?
it.
So who do you know, let's say you already have, you know, 50 clients, like, well, which of those were term clients? So you can go into your ZOHO and just type in 10-year term, and you know, your 8 clients will pop up with their phone number, birth dates, all that stuff. So, and this is a free tool, right? You can upgrade, there's upgraded versions of this, but this is something I feel, if we're gonna run a business, right, we were talking about that. If you're gonna run a business, then run a business, right? So you track your clients, you have a database for your clients, right? You have a way of connecting with your clients. It's got all their email, their contact, their date of birth, what product they have, what is the renewal date, or what is the anniversary date. All these things that you're tracking is going to be good, okay? So I really want you to pay attention to this, because this is gonna be kind of a technical day, and really learning how to really get your business to a higher level in terms of structure and organization. And I wanted to do a webinar because my wife asked, she's like, because we want to get this down, right? We have a lot of clients that we got to put into a database like this. So we really appreciate, guys. She came all the way down here, right, from what part, you know?
I live close to the home office. Not that far, about
Hey,
10 minutes.
right?
Yeah, but
Still, you know,
LA.
No downplay. She took 2 hours. She got here early, you know. So she came down here for us, and we really appreciate that. That means a lot to this group, guys. So, you know, someone stepping up. Really, you know, she's been around the game for a minute now. She understands it. She's taken it to a whole other level. So let's give a San Diego welcome to.
Welcome, thank you guys. I'm just so happy you guys want to sit here and listen to me this morning.
I can move that trip.
If you guys don't know, most of you guys know me, but one of my big strengths is that I'm kind of a data geek. I love data, I love numbers, I like systems, and I like processes. I think one of my biggest challenges in what we do at Difference as we're growing as a new company, as the little baby we are, is that we are still working processes in order for us to be as big and as successful as we want to be. I know, having worked in corporate America for years and being a manager and director and process being my thing, I understood that we have to run numbers, and we have to be able to contact and follow up. And but we know all these things, we talk about it, but what do we use to actually do it? Like what are we using to actually go back to our clients? I know most people, I mean, how many of you guys use spreadsheets? All right, if you don't use a spreadsheet, what are you using?
The brain.
The brain. I'll tell you a story, and hopefully David doesn't kill me for telling the story. But David,
We won't tell him.
okay, good. David in LA, he and I knew I've been working. So just really quick before I tell you the story, I've been working with ZOHO because my husband and I have a construction company, and so I do all the invoicing and the bookkeeping for that. So I was using ZOHO Invoice, and so of course I'm a data geek. I like technology. I'm like, oh, ZOHO offers all this stuff. ZOHO has CRM. Oh, CRM is free, so I started playing around with it about a year ago. And I started putting stuff in there, but I didn't really use it. And then as time went on, I'm using it actively for our business and invoicing, and that was going really well. And so I finally, sat myself down and put like all of my customers into it. And I did it after reading a book, a sales book that I was reading. And the sales book talked about you knowing your numbers. And so after I read that book, my big thing to myself was, I know I write business, not as much as I'd like. And part of that is probably because I don't have a process. The second thing is, how many customers do I have? How many apps have I written? I couldn't tell you. If somebody walked up the street and said, Neeyah, how many apps have you written? I don't know. Which is kind of crazy because this is my business. I want this business to grow. I want this business to be huge. I talk about having all these clients, making all this money, but I don't know how many customers I have. So that was a problem for me. And so I went back to ZOHO. I put everybody in. I did this before the holidays. And one of the big things I got out of doing that was I sent out Christmas cards to all of my customers. And I've gotten so many calls, thank yous, text messages from that. And the 3 apps I wrote this week was people, either referrals, somebody got married, so I did her husband. People are contacting me back from existing clients and referring because the Christmas cards that I sent. So for me, that was a big aha moment. I took the steps, and with the Christmas cards, I was like, oh, I sent them out a little later than you're supposed to. You're supposed to send them out on the 15th. Oh, I sent mine out on the 21st. And I was having the argument with myself. Outwitting the devil always talks about doing the thing that you think you shouldn't do because you waited too long. Well, I said, forget it. I put the stamps on, I sent them out, and I got so many, I have about 45 customers that I have. And that's awesome. But out of those, I got the calls. I got calls back, and that was it was mind blowing because I took the step and went outside of my comfort zone, went ahead and sent those Christmas cards, and it really started. I'm starting to see it already this year. So that brought me to when Carla asked me to come up and talk about something. I'm like, well, I don't know what to talk about. There's a lot I could do. There's a lot I could say, but to me, this was probably the most value added, I think, and just the response I had gotten from taking that step and taking control over the tools for my business. Now the story about David kept all of his clients in file folders in a bag with follow-up sheets because he does schools a lot. So he had all these papers, tons of papers of follow-ups, and I'm like, David, okay, you can't operate like this. Or do you have a spreadsheet? What are you using? What are you tracking? And so I showed him ZOHO. He started putting his people in. And even just from him getting organized in that aspect, I know he's not done, but just starting to get organized, he found 4 applications that he needed to follow up on. So the moral of the story is things get lost in a crack. When you don't have any way to track it, your business can, not be as productive as it could be if you have a system to track it. So ZOHO is great. ZOHO is free. And I did do a little presentation because I'm a creature of habit. So I kind of wanted to just go through, what is that? Okay, let me stop that. Exit from the beginning. Oh, what happened to my slides? Okay, here we go. Yeah, I don't know what happened. But they kind of deleted themselves. All right, so like I told you guys, we're gonna go ahead and go over, the business of organization. So what is the thing we can do to run our business like a business? We all this year have lofty goals. We want to, as a company, get 1,000 customers. My own personal goal is to increase my 40 customers to 200 customers. So that's about 160 people, right? So in order to do that, one of my biggest fears is I'll start doing all this work and have all these people, and I'll start losing my mind because I'm not organized. So it kind of has been like my own block. And I'm only saying this because, when you get in front of people, you kind of, let your own, what do you call it? You let your own transgressions loose. So my fear has always been you growing too big too fast and not being able to catch up with it, and being, not being organized, and people seeing me as not a professional. So that's been a big deal for me. So doing this and taking a step and making this happen is very important. So the questions that I think everybody should ask themselves, you should know your numbers, and knowing your numbers to help you grow your business. So how many clients have you helped? How many families have you helped? If I ask anybody in the room, can anybody tell me your number? How many? Well, I know Tim says he has 350 leads.
Yeah, well, actually, it's
Customers?
400 on that spreadsheet.
Okay, but you have a spreadsheet, right?
Yeah.
If you don't have a spreadsheet and you're not looking at it every day, how are you going to manage that? How are you going to know how many people you've helped, or even how many leads that you have that you can work from? How many families did you help in a year? What's your total production for the year? So I know that we talk about our commissionable target points. We talk about getting to that specific goal, but I know we do it in LA, and you guys may not do it here, but once you get to that goal, it's you never backtrack to add on to the next goal. It's okay, you hit the goal, whatever point you were trying to hit, and then it's done. So we should all know at any given point in time in our business, how many points have we actually produced for the life of our business, at monthly, weekly, as well as yearly. We want to know those numbers, because you can't move forward unless you know where you've been. And also, how many leads do you have to work from? So I'm gonna ask a question, because this kind of happened to me, of course, and which is why I'm doing all of this. But I have about 3 top 100 sheets, and when I go through my top 25, you know how you add people on your top 25 because you're working them, you're calling them, you're making your calls. After you take them off, if you're only using your top 100 sheet, you're like, I don't have anybody else to talk to. Well, technically, you still have probably, whoever you didn't convert, you probably have about a good, in my case, 250 people I could actually still talk to. But, we don't think about following back. We always think about getting new, and we have to get new people to keep the pipeline going. But I think one of the things that we fail to realize is that we have a constant pipeline of those people, and getting in the habit of seeing them there and being able to follow back is very powerful. I read the book Sell It Like Sirhan, Ryan Sirhan, from the $1 million real estate person on TV.
It's called Sell It Like What?
Sell It Like Sirhan.
Is it this white guy that uses a lot of gray suits?
Yes,
Yeah.
and he likes shoes.
Yeah.
Okay. But the book was really, really good. It was really, really informative. It talked a lot about following back with your leads. And when I read the book, I was like, okay, so when you follow back with your leads, where do you put your notes? Where do you know your last conversation you had with that client? And so what ZOHO has done for me in that aspect of the leads and knowing how many I have, I don't have them all in there yet, but I can put notes in there and I can go back and see, okay, the last time I talked to this person, XYZ happened. And when that happened, I needed to wait a month to call them, and okay, I'll put this in the task box so I can call them in a month, and they'll notify you on your phone, or if you set it up for your email, it could do that. So it could do a lot of little things that kind of take that whole manual process step that we all do out, so that it can kind of automate our follow-up process and our follow-back process. That's a term I learned from like Sirhan. Because following back is powerful, I know for me, when working my top 25 and my top 100, the big roadblock I would run into is I'm like, I found myself calling the same few people or putting the same people on my list. Now, because I have the notes in ZOHO, I'm like, oh, okay, they were on my list 2 weeks ago. I don't need to put them on my list because this was our last conversation. There's an activity in ZOHO to contact them in the next month because, they haven't told me don't call them. You know, so that's kind of like my new philosophy. Until they tell me don't call them, they're on my list. You know, which is, you know, I think something we all should kind of take in. I know I don't like rejection, and so me having that mindset now, like until somebody tells me no, I'm gonna follow up at least once every 2 months.
That comment you made is huge too, because I added it into my spreadsheet of where my last conversation, the last day that I talked to him,
Mm-hmm.
and it took a lot of the fear of calling people back, because when you go dial up, your brain starts going, what did I talk to him last? What am I going to talk
Right.
about? Am I going to talk to him? You know, and you get like a repetition, and you call up, and you start the old same conversation again you already had, and you
Right.
start shutting down.
Exactly. They're like,
So
oh, you calling
if
me
you
for
start with
that?
start where you left off and start asking them things, I put like if they get really excited when I talk to them about family or something, I write that on there, so that when I call them back, I know what their triggers to get involved in the conversation. It does help.
Yeah, like with this week, like one of the apps that I wrote for the one of my clients who got married, you know, it was time to follow up with her anyway for her annual review, and I'm like, when I called her, it wasn't about the annual review. It was like, hey, I see you got married. Why you didn't tell me? What's going on? You know, how did that happen? She was like, last time I saw you, we were going to Vegas and we had a shotgun wedding, not a shotgun wedding, but they got married, you know? And so I was like, wow, you know, I was like, well, you know, we have your policy and your policy's doing well, you know,
Call
send you
that
a message
in-law
about
wedding.
it. I was like, you know, but since now that you have a husband, it's probably more important for you to go ahead and protect your mortgage. Like, well, you told us that, but, you know, you said. She was like, yeah, you know, I should, because if something happens to him, X, Y, and Z. I'm like, exactly. And you know what? Because she has an IUL for retirement, you should get one for you too. Because if something happens to you, he has to pay off the mortgage. So that was 2 applications. You know, I mean, and yeah, they're 30-year terms, but at the end of the day, it's, you know, more business. And now she's, you know, again, got more referrals from her. So that was just a great example of how that kind of works with the notes and being able to call people and have something to say. So those are the questions when you talk about running your business you need to you should ask yourself. So there are a lot of different CRMs out there. A lot of you guys probably heard about them. Salesforce is probably number one that a lot of salespeople use. Salesforce, however, is expensive.
Yeah.
It's very expensive. It is a very snazzy little system. I looked into it, but I was like, I don't think I'm paying that per month.
How much
I
is
used it a lot in the corporate world, and I did not like
You
it.
didn't like it?
I did
I
not
liked
like
everything
it.
they had to offer. I thought it was
It looks
cool.
really good, but it has to offer, but it's really hard to
It's really hard
maintain.
to maintain.
It's
okay.
hard to maintain.
How much is it?
I don't remember. It was more than what I was willing to shell out per month, and so I don't keep dollar amounts in my head if I'm not using them. So I don't know.
I like the colors on ZOHO.
Yes, me too. And then we have Infusionsoft. The corporate office currently uses Infusionsoft. Infusionsoft is great for campaigns, but however, me personally, I think it lacks the real relationship management, like kneecap to kneecap intimacy that you need when you're physically working with people. So if you're sending a lot of campaigns, it's great, but I just didn't really like what it did from a personal standpoint and dealing with people individually. On Contact, I added that one because that's another one, big one that comes up in the searches. I've never used it, I never looked into it, but it's an option. And then we have ZOHO. One thing that ZOHO has that the rest of them don't is they give you an account for free. None of the other customer relationship management softwares will let you use it for free. You can get trial versions, but ZOHO is free. The downfall with ZOHO in regard to it being free is that there are some modules you can't use and you can't change, where if you did pay, you can customize it. But I can tell you and guarantee that everything that you need to use it for is gonna be fine.
Question, let's say I got an agency, but through ZOHO, like if I get a paid version, can I get individuals under that
Absolutely.
umbrella?
Yes, yes. That's what Dago's working on right now. Doing a corporate ZOHO. And then if people want to use the corporate ZOHO, you can pay the monthly fee for the corporate customizations. And this will bring me to the next slide, because with ZOHO, these are all the things you can kind of do with it. You can track and update your leads. You can export and import information. So, for instance, like I was telling Tim this morning, he has a list of 350 people, leads, that he has, which is absolutely great. He has a spreadsheet already done. He can sign up to run ZOHO today. He can import that list into ZOHO, and all his leads will be inside of ZOHO. Because he's done the work, he has a spreadsheet. So for those of you that do track your leads on your spreadsheet, you can upload your spreadsheets to ZOHO wonderfully. For those of you that, let's say for instance, corporate, they finalize the paid version of Zoho, and you're like, you don't want to pay the monthly fee, but you want to make sure that your clients get corporate updates. You can export your stuff from your free Zoho and put in a spreadsheet or a CSV file and upload that to corporate, or send it to corporate, or send it to Carlo. That way, as a company, when somebody calls into different corporate, Carolina or whoever is there can help your clients, which is a big deal. You know, it gives us the authority and it makes us look really extremely professional. So that's something that I know corporate's moving to, and I think that everybody using this tool and being able to have something like that is going to be real powerful in the future. So I was excited that, you know, it can do that. Because even if you don't want to do the paid version, you can always do your thing on the free version, and just when you're ready to upload, send the upload link, and then, you know, you can get that piece with the corporate version.
How much is the paid version?
The paid version, I believe for like just one user, it's like between $9.95 and $15.95. It's not that expensive. It's not that expensive at all. It's very, Zoho is very reasonable.
Yeah.
I do believe when Dago does the corporate version, it'll probably be somewhere around $15, because you'll have access to all the reports that corporate will run and everything like that.
Does Zoho allow, because I know you saw in Fusion Software you can run campaigns, does Zoho, because that's something, and I know maybe some of you thought about this, is having campaigns, running emails, right? So for example, all your gym clients, like even clients that fall out, that you still can drip on them.
So you can just do group
Yeah. you have,
emails out,
Let's say you have
updates.
100
This guy
clients,
needs to be led upstairs.
right? I mean, it's perfect.
So,
But does it allow you to do?
Zoho is kind of like a candy store. It has everything, in my opinion. Zoho has, of course they have the CRM, and is it not going? Okay, let me get out of the presentation. Let me just share my screen. Okay, I got a presentation. Alright, so I'm gonna go to Zoho. And I'm gonna, for one, I can share with you guys everything that Zoho has. So I was gonna take you inside and just show you kind of what I've done. And mine is by no way complete. I'm still working on it. I've been working in it every day since I put the clients in there. So I put all my customers in there. I'm updating all my deals, and I'll show you what I'm talking about in a second. But let's see. So Zoho has, this is CRM. Let me see. Okay. Let's look at all their apps. So they have the CRM. They have campaigns. Of course, they have Sales IQ. They have the social media, social media marketing tool. A bunch of other stuff that, you know, you may need, you may not need. I know they have the finance section. So I do a lot of work right now in the finance sections, like I do Zoho Invoice. I work with a friend of mine on her e-commerce. She does Zoho Inventory. So it's just, it has like anything you think you want to use. I mean, it's pretty inexpensive, I think, for a system that you can pretty much customize how you want it. This is just like showing you everything that they have. But the CRM, I think, is amazing, given that they give you a free account. So I'm gonna go ahead and log into my free account. And so this is the home page. I customized it. I customized it to show tasks that are, and I cleaned this up last night just so it wouldn't be a mess. But it will show you when your tasks are overdue and the tasks that are coming. So the tasks are connected to either your leads or your contacts. So for instance, this person right here is a contact. This person right here is a lead. But I'm able to see tasks for my leads and my contacts on my home page. So when it comes to all of my leads, I have everything kind of mapped out by referral source. So I have it if it's a referral, I have it for the schools campaign, and so like everything that I have in here, like for the leads for instance, I had to go in and customize the module. I'm gonna kind of show you guys how to do that. Because when you go in there, you're gonna want to play around with it, and and if you guys want to call me, please do. I know if you're not used to systems like this, it can be overwhelming. I'm 100% willing to do a Zoom call with you guys to help you set up the modules.
But if you drop in the spreadsheet, it'll automatic populate
It'll
into it.
automatically populate your
But you
leads.
still have to do adjusting.
You still have to do adjusting. You have to adjust your, like for instance, your lead source. You have to adjust your lead status, things like that. So like what I will really love about this is that you can go in and see like where people are. Like for instance, this person was a referral.
And there's also an app that says, how to do it too.
Oh, okay.
You can kind of run the app.
Watch the video.
Watch the video.
Watch the video. So that's a good thing too. So this person currently is on my top 25 list. So that's my lead status. This was the company name. I can't change this. I would like to say how I met the person, but this is having free ZOHO. You can't change that. So the company name for me, I said I want to know how I met this person or where they came from. Did they come from a school? Did they come from a personal referral? Did they come from
Work,
the prospect
whatever.
on the go?
Yeah.
Right. So that way, as I progress in my business, I can say I get most of my business from referrals, or I get most of my business from people who I prospect on the go, or I get most of my business from the schools campaign. You'll be able to pull a report to look at that, and that would be value added at some point. So it has the lead name. And also, which is cool here, you can give your lead a rating. So your big top 100 sheet. I know for me, I have one I can show it to you. It's all highlighted, people I contacted, and got little marks next to it like who's cold, who's hot. In ZOHO, I'm able to say, okay, this person on the top 25 list. I did reach out to Adam this week. Adam did not call me back, so I'm probably gonna take him off my list. So tomorrow when I clean up ZOHO, he's gonna come out of the top 25. Let me do it here.
And go back to your 100 list?
Yeah, he's gonna go back to my 100 list. I'm sorry, but he's gonna be. I'm gonna call him top 100 contact in the future because he didn't call me back. So I need to follow back with him at some
Oh,
point.
that's good.
So then I'm gonna call him Cole. He's on my top 100. He's Cole.
That's
So basically, what I've done is I've transferred everybody, and I still use my top 100 when I'm gone on the go. I write people down, and when I get time, I put them here. But I'm able to kind of categorize people, and when I look at him on my leads area in ZOHO, I can kind of see all this. I can click on them. I can see what the notes that I've written. Can say, set up an appointment with Adam. This was back a while ago. I didn't update my notes from this week, but he was on my top 25 list this week. But I've been working with this guy for a minute, so I put him back on, so I was like, let me reach back out to him. But I know that we had an appointment, the appointment didn't work, and I need to get Adam to call me back. And he was a referral. So, now on my contacts are all the business that I've written.
May I just ask, how many times did you call him before you classified him as cold?
I've been reaching out to him probably since reaching out to him since about October. I need to update my notes on here. I told you it's not 100%.
Okay.
But yeah, like since October, he's been like on my list, and I've I'll send him messages, or I'll give him a call and say, hey, we had an appointment. How you doing? How's your family? I sent him a Happy New Year message, stuff like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna ask you a real important question. So you can import to it. Can you export it to spreadsheets for storage?
Yes.
You
Yes.
can. You know how important that is, because I've had these programs like Salesforce and
Yes.
different ones in the corporate world update
Mm-hmm.
and then lose all your information.
No, you can export out.
So
you can
because it's real
always-
important to export it and drop it in a spreadsheet and
So
archive
you can
it.
have it, exactly. Right. So you can export it out. So it doesn't have to stay in ZOHO. You can always pull your data out.
It's just recommended that you do that in any one of these CRMs.
Yeah.
every once in a while, once a year at least, pull it out and archive
Yeah.
it as a spreadsheet so you have all your information.
I have a question. Will it upload to the cloud? Like, you know, we've got all our information stuck in the cloud. Will it upload automatically to the cloud?
Which cloud?
The
Like the
cloud in the
iPhone
sky.
Is
that we can
the
see.
Google or the?
The Google Cloud, does ZOHO have its own cloud, I guess is the question, because they'd have to have their own cloud.
Oh well, yeah. ZOHO. I mean, it's
It's cloud-based.
housed.
It's
yeah,
probably
cloud-based.
cloud-based, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
it's cloud-based.
You wouldn't even need the outsourcing because you have it in the cloud.
Yeah.
You can pull it back down from the cloud.
But
That's
which
my
cloud,
question.
like, we're gonna,
No,
Doesn't
no, I mean,
matter
it's,
what
it's a
cloud.
cloud-based software.
Well, he's saying that you still want to export everything out, so that if something was happening,
You still want to do it once a
Yeah.
year, because every once in a while, then they do their updates, even when it's cloud-based. If
Something
they
can
do,
get
if they
lost.
rev their software and stuff, and every once in a while they have a glitch, and you can lose all your information, and then you're
Yeah.
down and out, cold again, trying to
It can
rebuild it.
happen.
It's a good baby boom question.
Well, I just know that when I did a bunch of work on my computer and I broke it, and I went,
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
and my husband was able to pull it instantly
Okay.
down from the cloud. So if that's the case, it's uploading to the cloud, and
Right.
you don't have to do all the other stuff.
Right. So, for instance, if you use the ZOHO app, which I have on my phone, but if you use the ZOHO app on your phone, you go into the ZOHO on the website, it's gonna always be there. They're gonna
that's great.
always cross sync.
Yeah.
But what he's saying
Yeah, I
is
know.
pull it down. Yeah. Okay.
and,
Got it.
yeah.
I just wanted to make sure that that was
Yeah.
everything too.
Tim is saying putting it on like a floppy disk or
A
something.
floppy?
like that.
Not a floppy.
Dude, that, you're
Other
old,
one.
dude. You're
A
old.
Other one,
Yes.
what's
It's
it?
got a
Why
jump drive,
years?
USB drive.
It's like something that you can touch, you know?
All
We're gonna go
right.
sit down, Isaac, and have lunch.
Okay. So one thing that I thought was pretty cool when I started getting into this and started adding people in here was where is she?
Love
You
it.
can add your deals or add your so not only can you add your deals that you do, your new business, your existing business, you could also put in like birth dates, send Christmas cards, send a birthday card, little stuff like that. So you can manage all your activities for all your clients with this as well.
So I'm gonna ask you a complex question then. So if you set it up with that, can you actually have it linked so once you get it done, it actually just hits the monthly and just have a generic
You
card
could
that goes
you could
out so
probably
it's
set
linked
that.
to your
I
app?
haven't set that up, but because they have the
I'm pretty
campaign
sure it probably
component,
does, because
I'm
I
sure
do that
you
with
can.
my other CRM.
I
I use
haven't-
CRMs that work all day.
I haven't
so.
gotten to that point yet, but I'm almost positive
I'll
it
have
will
to
do
check. I
that.
like that.
Like it can automate. Not only will it do, if it doesn't do it automatically, you can probably connect it to Zapier. You guys heard of Zapier?
Yeah.
Okay. Zapier is like an automation system, and you can probably connect the ZOHO app to Zapier, and then once you have it, the task scheduled, Zapier will take it and then send it out for you. So there are automation pieces. That's like another level. Once we get there, I'll share. I know it can do it, but it's just not there yet. I mean, I haven't done it. But I do have like,
And kind of the reason I asked that with our new little flyer that we handout we have and stuff, it'd be good that you set that up a certain way so
Oh,
you
yeah.
can go and just batch your
just batch
people.
it. Yeah, no, you can.
Batch your people every once in a while with updates and information.
So like even here I have like this is her birthday. So her birthday is gonna be send birthday card. That's September 8th next year. So it's already, I haven't done it for everybody yet, but I do have it for some.
So you set up like reminders or?
Yeah, it's like a task.
Okay.
So it's a task in the future. So you can set it up once and it'll set you a reminder every year.
Every year it'll
To-
pop up and
it'll
tell you,
pop up.
this month you have these
It's-
birthdays.
exactly.
Every
So they
month.
let you know like 5 days before the birthday?
Yeah.
We should try to see if we can contact someone from Fiverr, just send them the information and the link so they can put everything up.
What do
Have
you
you ever
mean?
used Fiverr?
Yeah.
You know, just pay $5 and get them working on this.
Get them to do what? To put everything
Just
in?
put everything in.
Oh yeah, no, you can totally do
Alright.
that. Like you don't have to do it. I didn't even think about that. Yeah, if you have it in a spreadsheet or however you have it, yeah, just totally have somebody from Viber do it. That's awesome. I didn't even think about that. See,
What was that?
delegation,
What's it called?
Yeah.
Fiverr. It's like you pay. Everything starts at $5 for have to kind of delegate tasks.
Do all
You know
kinds
what
of
to do.
things.
Yeah,
Upwork.
yeah.
You would be, they do crazy things for $5. I don't know.
All right, so this is also something that it does. So like I know I have hers in here. So like I told you, it has all the birthday cards, and then also to show installer information, activities. I must not show it here. Okay. So in apps completed, this is where you can put all your accounts. You can put your deals, any rollovers that you did, the amounts, the type of policy that it is, the
That's
person's
good.
name, and then on the reports. One thing about the free version, a lot of reports don't work because it's free.
Do you think
Um,
it might be worth it paying the $12 to $15? Maybe, right?
If you're
I think so.
using it like once
you're
once it
full-time,
start
yes.
once you start using it in a robust way, absolutely. Like I know I'm gonna definitely be using the paid version. But I know there's a lot of people, especially people just starting out, the free version is gonna make a world of difference.
Right.
But as you for you, Isaac, you probably should just go ahead and just, just go ahead. But I think if the bigger your business is, the more it's gonna be an advantage for you to pay for the actual versions where you can get all of the sales reports. You can customize the sales reports. Like for what I've done for corporate, like I've helped Carolina customize some of the reports. I've helped her customize the modules because I've been in there working with them. So one of the reports that I do know works. Which one was it? I think it was this one. Yeah. So you can kind of just see like the stuff that I have put in here. It kind of shows you existing business, new business, stuff like that. So you can just kind of get a bird's eye view of everything. The activities. This is where you put in the activities. So you pretty much can put what you want for your task, and it could either email you or notify you on your phone if you're using the app, the tasks that you need to go through and work on and do, which is really, really good.
Can you click on campaigns also? Is that?
Yeah, the campaigns are for if
Okay,
you want to
just
create,
set it up.
exactly,
Yeah.
if you want to create a campaign. So if you want, once all the emails are in, if you want to start running campaigns, you can use this to do so.
Okay.
That's what you were,
That's where we're at, but,
Yeah.
because once you have a list of 100 clients,
you want to,
where's the best source of referrals? Your current clients.
exactly.
So if I can just shoot one YouTube video and bam,
Exactly.
just mass email it.
Yeah, I've been using MailLiner
Okay.
and MailChimp, but
No.
I mean, if I have contacts in here, then that'd be better.
It'd be way, yeah.
But MailChimp is a email marketing software, but you can't, it's not a CRM system, right?
No.
But I will tell you that MailChimp, a lot of systems will integrate with ZOHO. So if you already have MailChimp, you probably could continue to run a campaign once everything's in here, because then you can integrate the software through ZOHO. They do have integrations, and I believe MailChimp is an integration for the free version if you want to do the free.
So that's the question I have. So is ZOHO an autoresponder as well, or no? Does that make sense?
And I know what an autoresponder is, and I don't know. That's the one thing I don't know. That's a good question. I'm gonna have to find out, because if it's an autoresponder, then that's awesome. Because that probably takes out a piece of the puzzle that one would need when you're doing email campaigns.
Okay, thank you.
I'm gonna assume that they do, but I'm not gonna assume.
I'd be surprised if they did.
I'd be surprised if they didn't, because like
Google
you
it.
see, they have everything. Yeah,
Yeah, I'll
it's
look it up,
Google
yeah.
So yeah, you can run the campaigns, you can do the reports, you can do your activities, you can do your apps completed. This before said apps completed said deals. I customized this. So for the free version, the big thing, even for all the versions, if you guys decide to do the paid version, the free version, the big thing that's gonna be gonna take the most thought for you is setting up your modules. Like I set up my modules with my lead sources, my lead status, things like that. I helped corporates set up the lead status and the market and a different type of contact statuses in there. Also, one thing that free has that corporate will have is they'll be able to not only convert a lead to a customer, but they'll be able to convert a lead to an agent. So right now in the regular ZOHO, you can only convert a lead to a customer. Whereas eventually, when the paid version, ZOHO is going to customize a button so that we can either do lead to customer or lead to agent, so that we can also manage base shops using ZOHO. So that's in the future. So in the customization with ZOHO, in order to do that, I kind of want to show you guys this.
Oh, there's a data backup too, right? Like Tim was saying, you can back it up like on your desktop or something.
Yeah, it looks like you sure can.
Yeah.
Download a
$10.
complete copy.
Or is that what this is? There's backup request.
I'm telling you, I work with, I've had so
You're
many
scarred.
databases.
Scarred.
Alright.
Even in the cloud, when they do certain
Even in the cloud, huh?
Even in the cloud, when they do certain updates and they transfer the data, sometimes they lose it.
So in the modules, you definitely want to go in here and
Yes,
customize
for
the
me
things
then.
that pertain to us. For instance, with the leads, go to
How many
fields.
databases do I need
Oh wait. Oh. So here you can change out what it is you want to have in the lead list. You can customize all of that so it can have more or less. You can decide if you want to do a lookup. Like for instance, if you have, for instance, I'll use you, Isaac, as an example. Since you have a team here, you have a team in Arizona, you have a few different people. So let's say if someone needed to look up, and this is, in the, as time goes on, they want to look up an agent. You can do a lookup and assign that agent to that contact. Or assign that base shop to that contact. So that's something that you can customize in the module section. Let me see. I do want to customize these. Templates. Nope, modules. Layout. So the standard layout is, of course, the free version. So this is where you can go in and change everything, how you want your lead to come up and how you want it to look, the type of statuses you want to have. So in here, I had to go and change my lead source. So edit properties. So here I have all the different properties for my lead source so I can know where my lead came from. And some of these are already in here. I just changed a few of them. So I had advertisement, the cold call, if it was a Facebook lead, if it was from a business seminar, if I got it from LinkedIn. I have like groups on Facebook that I'm in. So one is like a Moms Who Rise group. So I got a few people from that. So I coded into that. If it's a networking event, it's prospecting on the go. If it's from an online lead page, that's me thinking into the future because I don't have one yet. Personal Facebook contact, referral, schools campaign, warm market. So it's just, however, I got that lead source or any lead source I can potentially think about, I put it in here, add it in here. And you can add and subtract, how many you actually want so that you can have as many lead options as possible. Again, just kind of knowing where your business comes from. Another big one was the lead status for me, at least, and that's where I went in and I gave, this is top 25, appointment pending, email, did the newsletter, if I've contacted them. So I haven't the one that I did with Carolina is a little more, finalized. This was just like me adding stuff in there because I wanted to see how many different options would make sense when I was trying to figure out how I wanted my report to pull. So the whole objective of all of this, putting all these codes in here and seeing who's on the top 25 or who's cold and who's not, is at the end of it all, I could run a report out of ZOHO. And the report's gonna either be everybody, and I can sort the report and only take out everybody's on my top 25. Or I can sort the report and say, I wanna see everybody I've contacted. Or sort the report and see everybody who's cold. So it's just it's a way for us to kind of nail down those people we want to talk to for whatever reason. And again, that is if you are pulling in reports. So I pretty much want to show you guys that because there are some customizations that you kind of got to dive into. You kind of have to but you want to have to know what you want and how you want it to go. Like I mentioned, corporate has this part already done. And the good thing about using it on your own is that you can kind of figure out how you want to run it or how you want to code it, or with a lead, how you want to have things pulled in as. So the good thing is that if you do have your own, or whether it's paid or it's free, at a certain point, you'll be able to upload all your contacts to corporate so that, you know, your clients can be uploaded into the main database.
So how far off is the corporate one?
It's not far off. Carolina and I have to work on the deals module or the applications received modules. So we're kind of figuring that part out because the corporate one is a little bit bigger because we're not only doing it for agent, but we're also doing it for customer. So we don't need as much information for customer. No, we do need as much information for customer, but we also need to think of it, okay, from an agent's perspective, what do we need to have on the agent side, since all agents will be in ZOHO, as well as base shops.
So everyone in difference will have their own account at some point.
Everybody in difference could be able to get their own account. Everybody in difference will be in ZOHO. Does that make sense?
Well, the reason I'm asking that is, you know, if let's say you start using this now, can you then merge it with the corporate one? If you decide to go with them, let's say you start building ZOHO up and then you go, okay, well, I wanna get the corporate account. Are you able to merge the two?
You not merge it, but you would have to.
Or would you have to start, could you upload the data?
You upload the data. And your data, if you've been uploading the data already, the data will already be there. They'll just make you a user and then attach your clients by probably search. We'll have ZOHO do it. Like, hey ZOHO, we have this user. I mean, it's a way to do it. I'm sure it could be merged.
I'm just asking that because I hate redoing
So
stuff.
Neeyah, it says the sales IQ, it says copy this. Do you have access to the sales IQ?
I don't. I haven't used it. No, I haven't used the sales IQ.
So that one, you probably have to pay for that.
Probably have to pay for it. I know the CRM is, like I said, free. Sales IQ probably is paid for.
Okay.
But I'm sure it's probably, I haven't looked at it personally, but I'm sure it's probably some good stuff on here.
So you mainly use the CRM?
The CRM.
What else do you use? That's all you use?
Me personally, I use a CRM, I use a whole invoice, I've used a whole books, I don't like it as much as QuickBooks. But I personally use ZOHO invoice. I use ZOHO invoice.
Is there a
all
place for the CRM to put like, okay, this person did a flex swipe to, or like
in the
that?
applications received part. So I'll go, if you go to, let me see. Are you looking at it on your
right
screen?
here.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
So, cause mine is coded different. So like if you go to the top, go to deals.
Deals? Oh.
Cause I customized mine.
Okay.
So just an FYI, you guys, if you were to go into ZOHO right now and you were to look at it, applications completed is actually deals. I renamed it because to me, applications completed made more sense than deals.
Okay, so create a deal then.
Create a deal, right. And
then-
so all of this, you'd be able to change to what you wanted to say in the module. So for instance, if I go to the module application completed,
Okay, this is for the clients already, the
Right.
clients already in your system,
right. So,
not your leads.
right.
Gotcha.
So it's for once they become from a lead to a contact, then you can add a deal in.
And the description, that's you put it where the description is.
The description, actually you would put your deal name would be like the product. So let me go to one.
Got it.
So, and I'm gonna show, cause what Miguel's asking about, I'm gonna
Well,
show.
deal
him.
name would be the client.
Is there a way for us to be able to maybe just move it around so that it can kind of like let us know like, hey, in a week from now, there's gonna be the anniversary for John and Jane.
Yeah.
And then maybe a day before, hey, you're gonna have that 1 year anniversary, so
An
contact
alert.
them so you can set up a follow-up 1 year.
It'll be just where you would set up the task. So if I'll go in and share and set one up.
And once you create like a client, do you gotta go in there and start always refreshing that information? Or does it do it by itself?
You have to refresh it.
No, you have to refresh.
No, and what I mean with itself is, okay, I get it.
I don't see the.
That would be awesome, like if it could be like Bluetooth. And it's just
No, like, what I mean
auto-sync.
is, like if I put in the, 1 year, the date that we did the business by itself, does it remind me?
Every
Okay,
year.
Isaac, John and Jane, man, you gotta contact them.
And a new task will pop up every year
You
for
can
as
set
many
up
years as you
alert,
say to
task
put it up.
alerts.
Yeah, it'll pop up every year. So
It's just true CRM task alerts.
what
Sandra.
Gail was looking at was the deals, right? So I'm gonna pull up a deal. I'm gonna create a deal.
So ella dijo que me va a
Let me see.
enseñar para ver what works best, you know.
Okay, so deal name, type, I'm gonna say existing business. Lead source, she
Lo que me
was
gusta de este es que me dijo que habló con Neeyah, the girl that hired
Personal
her for
contact.
$1,300.
contact name. This is the one that
You
I
can
did
pick
the other
one.
day,
You
right?
can put,
So the deal name for her, it's a LSW
and you have
30-year
their numbers.
term, 390,000.
Oh, okay.
And so she's existing business.
So the
personal
deal owner is your
contract.
own name.
The deal owner is my name, right? I'm the deal owner. So the deal owner, the purpose of that is because, let's say, for instance, if Carlo has the corporate ZOHO, right? And Isaac doesn't have a corporate ZOHO, somebody can upload the deal and make Isaac the deal owner because he's an agent in the system, even though he doesn't have an account. So it's kind of it's set up to be bigger than what you use it for just for yourself. Because if I have multiple people in here, I can say, okay, this is for Giovanna, or this is for Vince, or whoever it's for. I can code them to that deal if I'm kind of like not managing your business, but keeping track of my base shop business. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
All right, so the amount. So the amount here, it says amount, but I would do commissionable target premium so that you can keep track of the full number. And this is where the custom paid version is useful because you can change that amount to custom. Points, right? The target points. You can change the amount to that, and you can put those in here. So let's say hers was, I think it was like 760. The closing date, the application was completed yesterday. Stage, they have stages in here. I mean,
Need analysis follow. Oh,
Yeah.
so did you put all the different stages?
I added some stages. So like here I have
Okay.
business opportunity meeting. So let's say somebody did an app and they only came to a biz op, I can put that on there. And then again, this is just me thinking from process flow what would be best.
Right.
That's
Was it a home opportunity visit?
Done a good
Are there
job
still
on this.
documents required? Is it National Life Group pending,
Yeah.
So you can put that on there. And so basically, once you put, like, I'm just gonna say that it's documents required approval, it's a 90% probability that application is gonna close. If I said that this person wants to do the application, but it was only submitted, there's a 75% probability that it's actually gonna close. So you can kind of see like where your business is. If you were to run a deals report, applications received report, you can say, I have 15 people, they're all 75%, I gotta push some stuff through. So, I mean, it could be very useful in the sense that if you're actually using this and putting stuff in, you can know where everybody is in the process. Even all the way down to tracking what deals you actually lost. You submitted to National Life Group, the person tell you they had a DUI. You can track stuff like that. So it's just a really good tracking mechanism. If you run a campaign for it, it'll show that there's a campaign. You can actually add a new campaign, I guess. Customers who had business before, you can add them to a campaign.
Do they have an app as well, I assume?
They do have an app. They have an app on both Android and Apple.
Okay, nice.
On every phone you can offer, they have an app for. And ZOHO is based. They have an office in Canada. They have an office here, but they're actually based in India.
Wow.
Yeah. So
Is
and
it
they
from
have
India?
yes. But they have conferences like all the time on this stuff. So it's huge. It's really huge, and they're especially if you have the pay version, they're really good at helping you customize. So I'm sure that they have people who have customized and wrapped it. Like eventually, you could probably get it customized and wrapped in difference. So when people pull it up, it's all have the different swag on there. So, let's see. So I think that was an important piece to kind of show you guys.
Yeah.
Oh no, I don't want to say I lost that. I actually won that one because the application.
I gotta say, guys, I write CRMs and I've done it for like 25 years. You have no idea how much time this lady's put in on her own to create this.
Yeah.
I'm
I was
serious.
gonna say, I mean,
It is time consuming, but it's worth it when it's
It is
done.
worth it when it's done. Yes.
can we set up to do, like, I think we need to have a webinar for
Yeah, sure, we can do a webinar, cause it,
And so that way we can kind of just as a new associate, like, so we don't have to spend time with them and say, listen, watch this webinar so you see how to start a free account.
Isn't it live? It's online right now?
Yeah, right, but I'm saying like,
yeah, so
That
we can
person
do a
can see the
Zoom
screen.
and they can see the screen and I can
Exactly.
like, I can
This is how
start
you
a
set up
whole
the
new
free
account,
account.
this is how you do, you wanna
Well,
set
if you
this
have the
up.
paid version, when she gets it nailed down, you can rev it and then just have it so they can just, it's part of your company and it's just a template. When they go register, they'll pull up the template that's already created for the
Right.
group.
So when
You'll
it's,
still
when
be
it's,
able to customize it, but you'll have the
Right.
template.
when it's paid, all the modules and everything I talked about, that's gonna already be done. Like you won't have to set it up. Like right now, since we haven't wrote that out yet, yes, you'd have to go in and set it up and take the time to do that. But because Carolina and I have already set up the modules and we've already worked on all these little pieces on the paid version, it'll already be done. So like if you decide to pay for it, you pay corporate, whatever the monthly is, you log in and you just go to town. Everything will be already in there.
You already have your template all done.
Yeah.
Be ready to import your contacts and,
Mhm.
and it'll be set up to operate.
Right. Reports and everything. You won't have to figure out how you know, which reports you can use, which ones you can't. You know, it'll all be done. I went through that part because at the time I was working with on ZOHO before they had started. I actually was like, look, you know, I've been telling Dago, we need a CRM. Like, we need a CRM. Like, we need a CRM. And he was like, well, you know, you and Carolina work on it. I'm like, fine. So we sat down and worked on it. He paid for the corporate version. Now we set it up and we can finish it. And then eventually he'll be able to offer it to those who do want to do the paid version.
So what's the timeline on that?
The timeline,
It's a loose one.
a loose one, I'm gonna say, what's today? It's January? I'd say, you know what, I think it could probably be live the middle of February.
Okay.
I think it could be live, cause I mean, we did all the work during the holiday season. Like we went and did all the modules, figured out the process, what worked, what probably didn't work. And you know, because it is customizable, once you guys get in there and start using it, you can say, hey, can I do this? I'd like it if I did this. And then we can always contact ZOHO and just, as a group, make it better. Because it is like my brain process flow in the modules that corporate has.
So-
I apologize.
So question, if you do a corporate one, then they'll have an individual account they'll upload to the corporate to help track. Will they be synced or will they still be separate?
They'll be synced.
They'll be synced.
They'll be part
You know
of it.
why I asked that? Because if you start doing customized on a synced one and then you try and upload, it creates
Well, what I mean
issues.
customized is that you have to tell corporate, okay, could we do this?
So there'll be a process for
Yeah.
doing
For
updates.
upgrades, yeah.
Upgrades, okay.
Like if a module says something that you don't want to say, or let's say you need to, you know, I had all the different lead sources. Let's say your lead source is, you know, petting zoo networking event, and you want to know how many people you got from that. You want to add that in. Just tell Carolina, she can add it in, and you have that. That'll be now.
Okay, that's what I was
That's
curious.
a new
Okay.
source, lead source. So, any other questions? Was it a lot? Was it too much information?
No.
This is great. Just
Some
looking
people,
at
yeah.
everything.
Yeah.
So,
I need a secretary.
Yeah, 'cause I was literally just thinking this because, like, you know, when I make calls to someone, you know, I write down that little follow-up sheet. I was like, you know, it'd be nicer to have something like this. It's easier.
yes. It is so much better, you guys. I mean, even just because, like I said, I put everybody in. I sent the Christmas cards, and I've been in it. Like the people who I have been adding, or I've been updating it, going in and just putting my notes in and doing my activities, and you know, trying to follow my activities daily. You know, every other day. But for the most part, just using it and really like being diligent and consistent. And so it did help my consistency rating. I mean, I did 3 apps this week. So that goes to, I've been working in it consistently since the beginning of the year after I put everybody in and sent my Christmas cards. It was like the commitment to myself. And I've been doing it and it's starting to pay off, so.
If you guys get to the point when we want somebody to review it, that's all I've done in these for
Is that all you-
35
is all you've
years.
done?
That's
You
all
should've said
I
something.
I operate one at work all the
I was
time,
like,
2 of
Tim,
them
can you come
for
up?
my business, for my work right now. So
Okay.
when you get to the point you're close, you want somebody to come and sit down and just run through the whole thing.
That'd be great.
I can ask you a lot of questions, so when you release it on corporate, you can ask ZOHO questions and
Okay.
save yourself a lot of
Okay.
headache.
No, that'll
A
be
lot of
good.
headache.
You know, I mean,
Trust me, a lot of headache.
yeah.
I don't know, like I'm happy and pissed at the same time.
Why?
Because he's just saying that.
I know, right?
He's like,
right.
35 years of
35
experience. I'm like,
years.
thank you, man.
I mean, that trumps my little 6 years.
Well, you know, because
No, like-
tenant portal and doing big corporations, that's all
Right,
you
that's
use
all
is
you do.
CR
Your
systems to
CRM
run it,
systems,
all the
exactly.
employees
And they
and all
have
the work and
all the
business
business
and
analysis,
everything.
the processes,
For the
and that's what I said.
accounting to workflow for
Yeah.
employees for everything.
Right.
Do they have like
I just never
Skype
thought of
on
using it
this
for
too?
this, honestly.
Like you can do business calls,
Stupid.
Skype on it?
You know, you can't really. I'm not gonna say yes or no. I don't know.
What was the question?
I know from your phone you can do the call directly from the app on your phone. So let's say for instance you have a task to call somebody on your phone, the task will pop up and you can hit the button and it'll dial that number. That I know what to do. So if you're using it to that capacity, it could do that. Skype, I don't know. I think there's like some button somewhere where they have Skype, but I'm not sure if it's like 100% integrated. But there's a lot of stuff.
Put it this way, on all these CRMs, if you have something and they think they can make money, all you gotta
They-
do is send a
and
question
send a
out to them, and if
yeah.
they look at it and it even makes any sense, they'll have
Right.
it done within the first 3
Because
days.
I want to see if Zoom integrates with them. I haven't done it yet, but I'm a big Zoom user, so I want Zoom to integrate with Zoho. Like, can we do that and have it linked where my calendar and all that other fun stuff. So,
Interesting.
I haven't asked yet.
So from QuickBooks,
Mhm.
if you have your customers in QuickBooks, export your list
Mm-hmm.
to
Yeah.
the spreadsheet, and then the spreadsheet goes into Zoho, right?
Exactly.
So
Yeah.
thinking about your.
Yes, that's exactly how
That's
it
how I
goes.
know mine too.
So you have all your customers that are in your accounting system into your Zoho, and they become leads.
Nice.
Cool.
So, was there value added today? No, I'm just kidding. Thank you guys for listening so attentively. I hope that this is going to be a game changer for you guys. I anticipate it being a game changer for me. And I'm from being that I work in LA and I work with God North Carolina often. One of my big goals, and Carla knows this, I've been around for a little while, is to get this company on the platform and the level it deserves to be on. Our goal for this year is 1,000 people. If I could say I could do half of those, I would. But I go with myself with 160. So hopefully we all come together and we make it happen. And I think Zoho is gonna help get me there because I'm running my business like a business, not just like pie in the sky, And I think it's gonna be helpful for all of us to really step into it.
Gracias, Neeyah.
Thank you.
Way to have vision too, because I would never thought of using a CRM for this.
Really?
It really didn't even dawn on me
But
until you started
we're
going
like,
on.
what do you call it?
It's the same thing, but I just
Yeah,
never
we're a
did.
state-of-the-art sales organization. Why wouldn't we have a CRM?
I have no idea.
Right?
We forget you. We forgive you too.
Yeah, I mean, even like just from a recruiting standpoint, from a sales standpoint,
Yeah, it makes total
when it all
sense.
boils down to
Follow-up
it,
standpoint.
Yeah, everything.
Yes.
Everything.
Yeah, this goes, I don't know about you guys, my gears are spinning, anybody else's gears are spinning?
Oh, spinning big time.
Yeah.
I wanna take it to a higher log for what this really means. I'm not the most technologically savvy person. I've kind of been really late in the game to adapt to these things, cause that's not how I started. But what I realize now, like what is the bigger picture, because as even knowing a lot of you guys in here, it's Difference is a collective, right? Difference is a company of people that have individual brands. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And so everyone in here has an individual brand, because the clients that you're attracting to you are not necessarily the ones that are gonna relate to Thomas, right? And so why tools like this exist, because everything now is about campaigns. Everything now is about having like an email list. Because if you have an email list, there's a lot of value to that. For example, like Enrique, right, which is Sarah's fiance, Marina served with. He's got, who knows, thousands upon thousands of emails that he just generally markets to. And this is where joint venture products come in, because when someone has a great product, right, then they will say, can I use your email list to market this to, and I'll give you a percentage of that product.
yes.
So all of you guys have, my point is you know, I don't know, I wanna learn more about the corporate and all that stuff. I think for me personally is because I know in the future, I'm an entrepreneur, right? I'm gonna have my financial services company, but I might have a different campaign because I'm marketing different products for Carlos Salgado, right? And so that's why it's important, I think, that having a system, you know, I was already thinking of ideas, right? Some of you are big in ministry here. If you have an email list of 100 clients, and most of you guys that are in ministry, I see most of your clients are like-minded people. They come from your church. You know, you guys go on these mission trips, right? If you had 100 emails of 100 clients that were already term or IUL clients, and you did a video, hey guys, so we're doing a mission trip, and for every client that we help, we're gonna take 10% of those commissions and fund this trip. You're gonna have more people that are gonna be your clients. But you don't have to go out there and find new clients, you just market to your current database. Because your current database is value-based, right? They share collective value.
That's a good point.
If I wanted Thomas's clients that I strictly went to him for personal fitness and I fell off the books because I hit my goals and hey, I'm moving on in life, he's still gonna drip on me. Hey, by the way guys, so I run a financial services company and I wanna be able to help you guys financially. Theme of this year is being financially fit. I was like, you know what? I already trust this dude. You know, and he just dripped on me and I was like, hey, you know what? I do need to get my finances in order. You know, that's already all there.
Dude, I got so many businesses in my family. Yeah, that's a great idea.
So all of you have niche, like, it's funny, everyone in this room, as I've got to know you guys, every one of you have a brand.
Yeah.
Every one of you. Accounting, right? Podcasting, ministry, spirituality, veterans, fitness. You have to build your own brand. And if you don't have a way, like everything is, like and I'm sorry to say it, but that's really my fault as a leader. I don't want to say it's a fault, it's just it's evolution.
It's called growth.
Right?
Yeah.
It's evolution.
Growth.
It's just like, you know what, because before I would be like, these trainings are very boring to me, it's too technical. But you have to, like, I find myself right now fighting my old ways with developing new habits. And all of those new habits that I'm like, I gotta sit behind this computer and intro all my clients, like, right?
Do
It's
like
just
Isaac said, pay somebody from Fiverr
Yeah.
to do it. I mean, send them, you can literally scan them the papers
so
and they can enter it all.
in your National Life Group, right? Because most of our clients say, as you build your database off your National Life Group, you can export all those clients. So if you have clients from different, you know, some of you have done Transamerica, some of you have done Final Expanse, some of you have done, get all those clients, like take the time to invest to get all your clients' database, get all of those emails, and then we're gonna start creating campaigns.
Yeah, because National Life Group has a great way of an internal kind of database. But yeah, the reason why I think I got someone to put all of that information in my ZOHO, but I don't know the password or to get in there.
Just get a password, forgot password.
But that was the situation because I got Transamerica, North American. I got a lot of different other companies that I use.
Yeah. The biggest thing I got from today, for me personally, was, okay, now I know what I need to do. You know, so like obviously my personal goal is 120 apps, right? So I want to have you know, instead of me, because right now I have it at home on paper, right? I'm like, hey, I got 116 left, I already got 4 down, right?
Right.
You know, and so I need a software that's going to track everything for me. I think this is absolutely the way to go, you know? And again, this is going to, for some of you that struggle with technology, it's going to be out of your comfort zone. So you need to, you're going to burn the midnight oil, you're going to be waking up early or whatever to do this, but once you have it set up, you got to get it set. Because if you're treating your business like a hobby, unfortunately it pays you like a hobby. If you treat it like a business, it starts to pay you like a business. And we're talking about, this is a $1 billion industry. You know, there's a lot of resources here. And so if you don't personally get organized, you know, then you kind of make that choice and you do so at your own peril. Does that make sense? And your clients suffer, you suffer, and you're like, why is this business not working for me? Because you're not organized enough. And it's one of my biggest, my strengths are people. That's what I'm good at in this business. My weaknesses are administrative and organization. Oh, it's something, I'm not an admin person. But in our business, we have to be organized, right? Because the more organized you are, the more you can monetize that list. right? And some of you, once you have that list, you're like, man, these are all my financial services clients. You already have a brand. So some of you are gonna do some other things and create podcasts and create even more products.
Right.
Who's the list you're gonna market to? That list that you already have. They're more prompt to buy because you already have trust, right? So remember, we're in sales and marketing, you know, and that's what people do. We can't run from this anymore, right? You know, technology is we have to utilize it to automate our lives even better. But at the end of the day, I look at it as you're building a brand. If all people know is like, this is where I feel people make a mistake because they make the, you know, and difference we're a collective, right? But if Jessica was my advisor and I'm like, I don't really remember her, I just know she works for Difference Financial, then she failed, right? Your name is the brand, right? If people should know your name first prior to the company that you work for, right? And so this allows you to build more of a stronger personal brand so that you can go out there and win, you know? And I hope you guys really see that, you know? And I know it's kind of gonna be mundane to go in there, or however you're gonna do it, it's gonna take time. But it's gonna pay major dividends in the end, right, for you to run your list. Because let's be honest, some of you may move on from Difference, right? But those clients are still your clients, right? It's just the truth of the situation. So you wanna be able to have ownership of your list, right? And if you leave and you're not organized, all that stuff is just shotgunned out in the universe out there, and you don't want that. What did you guys get from today? I mean, at least for you, like something that you could apply for you. I'm curious to hear from like Thomas, you know, Jessica, I know who runs an accounting business, right? You have a niche, right? You know, what are things that you got that you could apply?
No, because I do my best to stay organized. I'm a pretty organized person though too. But you know, I use my phone and just like notes a lot
Yeah,
of stuff.
I
like
noticed
this.
that,
Stuff like
yeah.
now, I could just use this platform for both businesses, the fitness and so I will give it a
Right.
try for sure.
And so the kind of unfair advantage you guys have, cross-pollination.
Yeah.
You gotta, you know, how do you market, how do you educate your current, and you gotta think about how you're building that brand, fitness and finance, right?
Health and wealth.
Right?
All day. All day. All day.
And the thing is everybody would want a personal trainer in reality, like someone
Health
that
and wealth
can
expo.
structure a workout, someone that can push you, like everybody would want, but the issue is not a lot of people can afford it or are willing to invest in that. So if you're able to be like, I'm gonna find money so that you can come out of pocket.
People go to a personal trainer to get pushed, and they want the same thing if they're coming there for money, they wanna be pushed.
Yeah, so think about you guys' brand, it's like at the end of the day, you're gonna do best to market to your tribe, right? And all of you have a tribe, right? And if you're not aware of what your tribe is, right? You know, then you really need to start thinking about like, okay, who is my ideal client? You know, you get to a point, guys, in this game where I choose my clients now. Like I don't wanna work with someone like that, I wanna work with someone like this, you know? And as soon as it's not a fit, it's not a fit. I'm gonna find someone that is gonna resonate with me, and you want good clients, right?
So I'm gonna throw something out to her because I use a CRM and I literally can take, and once you get it set up right, I can take and schedule it. Cause I run 4 high-rise buildings and I do everything there. So I can literally take and set up my whole week, input it, drop it in the calendar, in the CRM, and then it'll actually go over to your Google calendar and it'll have your whole week planned out. So if you have like appointments and stuff in, I'm sure you can use the software to do the thing. It can literally set up your whole week like that and drop it on your Google calendar so you can track it and keep going if you want it, if you're doing multiple things. It's huge.
You can export
It's
activities
huge.
to Google or your calendar.
Because now you're actually scheduling your appointments and everything, and you're not only are you tracking your list, but you're actually doing your scheduling immediately out of it. It's huge.
Yeah, I love that you can stay organized and not have so much paper, because my world is like paperless. I don't need all this paper and files and
Right.
so being able to keep track of everything and stay organized.
And
is
even
huge.
like I'm curious because I know I have a special way that I keep all of my client files in ZOHO. How are you guys keeping? Do you guys keep the paper? You have to keep papers for a little while, but are you guys putting your files in order in like a certain place? digitally and everything like that?
I have Dropbox.
Okay, I use Dropbox too.
And I can upload like, so if I wanna upload a PDF of the app I wrote for whatever reason, just what did I do? Can I put that
You
in
can
this?
put
Yes.
that in ZOHO, yes, you
Okay,
can,
good.
so what I've
You
done.
can have a file linked with each one of your clients and
Right.
upload your, right in there, so you can review it right from there.
So you can either
And
do the
it's all
file
secure,
link.
cause if I have all the socials and all that
Right.
stuff, it's good, right?
Right,
Oh,
you can either do the file link from your provider like Dropbox, or for instance, for the schools campaign, all my follow-up sheets, because I do have all my schools, my teachers in there that I've contacted or haven't done any business with, I upload the follow-up form in here.
Yeah.
So just kinda like, and especially if it's a split, I'll know that, it was me and David or me and Juan. And that way, if I do business in the future, I know who I'm splitting it with.
Yeah.
And I throw all those old follow forms away. I don't have a file of follow forms. They're all in ZOHO. Cause that was driving me crazy.
Who in here, has an autoresponder? You have MailChimp,
Yeah.
right? How has it been going for you?
I started with MailWriter, and then I had some issues with that, so then I went to MailChimp, but,
Easy to use,
yeah,
right?
yeah, super easy.
1,000 free, right?
Yeah, I haven't gotten to 1,000, yeah.
No, for sure,
Yeah.
but that's perfect for this, right? What I would recommend everyone here is start that free autoresponder. Now, what is an autoresponder?
It says that you're out of the office.
No, not
No.
even that, right? It's,
Okay.
First version.
this is like,
That's the first version, yes,
so
yeah.
check this out, this is very, very important, guys, right?
That was 20
And we're
years ago.
gonna- by this time next year, like my vision with this is that we are automated a lot more here. Because that is what's gonna bring in our system really does work. Our system was built in a time of non-technology, so you can still grunt work it, right? You can still go out there and beat the streets, like our system works, warm markets, direct contacts, word of mouth marketing, it's powerful. But this is what's gonna free your life, right? Once you have, let's say you have 500 clients on your autoresponder, you set up campaigns. Now, what a campaign is you can invest time, and you can even hire someone else to do this. This is what Enrique does, by the way, right? A campaign is, okay, I wanna do a series of 7 emails. And maybe I'll attach one of my own personal YouTube videos to each third video. And it's gonna be on fitness and finance, ministry and finance, whatever your thing is. And once people opt in, like how you get these emails and they say, so once if I become Michelle's client and she does an IUL with me,
You got the email address now.
yeah, and Michelle's like, hey, I'm gonna go ahead and just put you into my I'm gonna put you in my list. And once she puts me in her list, cause she has my email, cause I became her client, this is where you start building that external relationship, right? So she can say, okay, I already just created about 20 emails that took me about a month to do, but it's all there. So once a week, my new clients will get this email, right? So when they click on email, it's like, oh, Michelle sent me an email. And it seems like as if you just sent it personally to them. But when they look at it, it's like directed to me, hey, Carlo, I just wanna say I appreciate you as a client, right? Down below is a review of what I did, so you remember, right? And always know that this is a way to reach me. And they click on the video and it's you explaining indexing, right? And it's you say, hey, by the way, if you have anybody that you'd like to refer to me, right, please send them to this email, please send them to my number, I love referrals. And then you'll be like, wow, I appreciate it. And it's a way to automate referrals. You're making money while you sleep. And every week you're dripping on them, right? Because a lot of times when you lose clients in this business, because you lose contact with them, right? How many times have you taken clients from other agents? And this is all I do with other clients. I'm like, when's the last time you touched base with your agent? 3 years, 2 years? Like, okay, well, I like to be that person for you. And trust me, right? Because most agents in our industry are 59 and above, right? We have to get in with the times, right? I don't have time to call 100 clients, right? But this is a way for you to just one email, and they're automatically gonna get that email every week for the next 20 weeks, right? And before you know it, it's like, whoa, I did business with that client 17 weeks ago, And they just sent me 3 referrals on the 17th video that was automatically just put into their inbox.
The same video or different?
No,
it's a
you do
one, but
different
you
ones.
pre-make them.
You pre-make
We
them.
make them
Every
and
week
you
you
pre-
make another
No,
It's-
you can if you want, but you're just like, you know what, I'm just gonna create 20 emails, and I'm gonna shoot, I'm gonna shoot 5 videos, and maybe you invest.
Alright, I got an easy way to explain it. You know, if you do Elijah's List or anything with it, when you're doing ministry stuff, they come out once a day or once a week or once a month, and they have those things that pop up that look, that
Oh, I
come,
get
it's
it,
the
but I
same
don't know how
thing.
they put my name, and they have so many different names, and they put my name there.
It's
That
part of the
autoresponder
software.
does
it.
Yeah, autoresponder does
That's
that.
the autoresponder.
Automatically.
That's amazing.
To your list. So the autoresponder takes your list.
And the awesome thing is they can
customize
add-
the email,
Baby
and it
first,
yeah,
it
and-
drips. It drips everybody.
Not only that, they can really,
I just want to drip everybody. That's my new word, drip.
I was talking to Letty about this, right? This is the future, and this is here now.
You came up with that word, Letty?
They're gonna think you're
What?
listening
You
to
came up with the
rap.
word drip?
No, no.
No, that's already a thing,
call
right?
it.
They're gonna think she's listening to rap.
Oh, they're gonna think you. Yeah.
Here's what we
Who
all,
cares?
right?
They can. That'll
That
be.
level
So
That'll
you're
be
talking to Letty,
amusing.
what happened?
Right, here's where we all need to really focus on, right? Because you guys wanna work harder or smarter?
smarter, I'm done with hard work.
Invest time up front, and it pays off later. We all need to create robotic income, right?
Robotic leads.
What does that mean, right? That means, right, AI is here, guys, right? I don't care how talented you are, you cannot work a machine. The machine's gonna work 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365. You work 12 hours, you burn out, you need sleep, you need a break from the biz, you need a break, right? But this is a constant lead generator for you. And anyone now can do this now, and if we don't do this, like, we're just gonna keep working harder, and eventually you burn out. Like,
Yeah.
it's big in our industry, people burn out all the time in sales, right? And they get fatigued. But if I have a thing, right, who can envision a day when they wake up in the morning and, wow, I got 12 leads, just from my videos and my emails that I've just been dripping on.
Does AutoChimp kind of link in with like Facebook and also like if you have email addresses or like
Yeah, that's what.
the
this
big one is really LinkedIn because LinkedIn is all based on emails.
No, it's, so basically, MailChimp is your email database of your clients. Now, when you have multiple businesses, like some of you doing here, if he has MailChimp, he can have a campaign for his health clients, his personal
Oh,
client,
okay.
and he can have a campaign for his finance clients, and he can have a third campaign that merges both.
Hmm.
So he's like, okay, I'm gonna have a drip system, right? Because that would be cool for my personal trainer. If he was my, that would be cool for my personal trainer if he's giving
Right.
me health tips on how to have a healthy lifestyle. And every 5th or 7th email, he's like, by the way, guys, part of what I teach is also how to be financially fit. Let me give you some certain concepts that are gonna help you health-wise, because health and wealth is what I'm about, right? And I'm like, oh, this is different, and it's
Yeah.
really good.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, I'm like, hey, tell me more about that. Tax-free
So what
living,
is that
right?
for you? I've been holding on to that one.
Yeah.
I've been waiting for the right person to
Planned
give it
it, right,
to.
right.
But how cool would that be if Thomas is here right now? I was like, check it out, guys. I just got a lead from my 7th video for one of my personal
Right.
training clients who wants to sit down and do a financial plan. While I was here talking to you guys, it happened on autopilot.
Right.
Come on.
Auto
right?
cheat, then all you
I
do
see more
is
than
follow
one
up on
lead.
leads all day. You don't have to go out and mine anymore. The mining's it's
Well,
It's
that's
just
where
like the
everything's
crypto
going
mining.
though. I mean, you still
A
will
little bit,
mine, but
yeah.
it'll be more
That's-
enjoyable.
the new
for
word is crypto
everyone.
mining, and this is the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You'll
the
be
same.
excited
Here's
to
my
talk
point,
to people
right?
because you just had 15 people in your email box. Of course, you're gonna talk to 5 people when you're out because you have endless amount of people.
So
Yeah.
check this out.
Check
This, in the next 5 to 10 years, will be the only way business is done.
Yep.
So if you don't evolve or die, right? If you don't get with it now, you're gonna be dust, right? Truth. And I think jump on it now, master it, right? Because I get all kinds of people that I'm tempted to, that they create these online, they create these online courses,
Yeah.
right? There's people right now that are paying, one time $500. Like, hey, let me teach you how to create an email marketing list. So I don't care what industry you're in, I'm gonna teach you how to create an email list. I have a series of 5 videos. And by the end of this, you're gonna know how to create an email marketing list that you're gonna be able to go market to your clients and keep your database. One time, $500. And you pay that, and that guy shot those videos a year ago, and he's probably in Cancun having a good time, and you're paying him to watch his 5 videos that he shot a year ago right? And he's like, oh, I'm in Cancun, look, I just made $500 for a video I shot a year ago because somebody wants to know how to put her insurance business in.
I'm like, should I just sell what I taught you guys?
Right?
Right.
But you see my point? It's like we gotta get with the times, right? This is like it now. So anyhow, I'm inspired by that. Give her a round of applause. Thank you so much. So you can count on me. I'm jumping on this weekend,
Okay.
right? So I really appreciate that. What else? Any other feedback you guys got? I was waiting. I was like, our internet marketer over here, right?
I talk to a lot of people online that I haven't met in person before, and it's hard to keep a face with a name. So obviously all the details about their life too is kind of like, oh shit, which person was that? So that's a great way to keep track of details about that person instead of scrolling through messages, being like, okay, who?
Right.
Yeah.
It's been a pain.
Yeah, I'm
So
sure.
that seems like a great way to keep notes on people, like really key things to remember.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Well, I'm jumping on this ASAP.
yeah.
With all the things I'm doing,
Yeah, like
and
this.
I'm gonna prove the process to you guys that I'm gonna create lead generation. You
What's
watch.
all for?
Right.
Not before me.
Right. I'm on it, man. I'm on it, right?
I'm working on
I'm in.
it. I mean, I know it's where everything's going, and and this
I can't keep
all
up.
of this was spawned from Juan and I starting a credit repair business. So we started a credit repair business, and the goal was to have the clients that we have that they need to go in, go through our program because, we have Debt America, but we don't really have a credit repair.
Like to boost your credit
To
up.
boost your credit up. So we were like, we're just gonna do it. We got the software. I paid the money for the training for the software, and then I'm going through it, and I'm in this Facebook group with all these credit repair people, and all they're talking about is autoresponders, Zapier, client relationship management, all of this stuff, and I understand it because I'm techie like that, but going back to the whole idea, like, oh my goodness, why aren't we doing this for a difference? And what a great way to cross-pollinate. Now I'm like, everything that's gonna come in through autoresponders with credit repair, they're gonna get drips for difference. So I'm gonna have this huge list of people coming in for credit repair because I'm going through creating all the email lists and the autoresponders and getting my lead pages together. But those customers are going to be difference clients. So that's like kind of it's all happening like right now. So, even though I have my people that I work with difference and all the schools that I do, my people coming from credit repair is like almost gonna be like popcorn. But those people are gonna be getting the full financial package by going through difference as well. So it's like, these two differences gonna cross-pollinate with Unique Credit Solutions, which is the name of our company, and then it's gonna be like this mass explosion, so.
You gotta share that with us too.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I mean, 'cause
I see that for your list too, bud.
Yeah, absolutely.
They might not be clients now. Because think about how many you've been dripped on and you didn't buy the first time you opted into something,
Oh, tons.
but you bought a month later.
The other day I got a book from Greenberg's Yosi. I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna get a book.
He comes out so
How many
much on
times did he
YouTube.
drip on you,
Oh
though?
my god.
Like 47,000. And I was like, I haven't even seen your videos because I skip it. But you know what, bro? You deserve my money, dog.
You know what?
There you go, $30.
Right?
Dean Grazi, he markets between December 15th and the end of January. You do not hear from him for the rest of the year.
Really?
Yes. And I noticed that. I only noticed that because I bought his program December of 2017, and I went through his little program, and it was good because he's a great guy. But I didn't hear anything else from him until just recently, this past December. I'm like, this guy only makes his money in December and January. But if he has all these people that's paying $47 to $197 to $597, and then he touches 50,000 people because he has this huge email list,
Big time.
he don't have to do anything all year.
He also has $100,000 a year mastermind group too. So
Oh, $100,000 a year.
he's
Right,
also
that
really
part.
good, yeah.
I think my program was only $97.
Who's jumping on this, by the way? I'm getting into that. Okay. Get it started. So, moving forward, we're gonna start creating training circle around technology, right? Because what I would want for this group, I mean, Sarah's helping me with the podcast. She's helped Michelle. This is the future, guys. It's gonna create a brand,
Yeah.
right? It's gonna create somebody that's been here for years, do you feel that you already have extracted enough content from difference that you can talk about it where people be like, that was a damn good podcast?
Absolutely.
Yeah, definitely.
Why are we doing it? Right, so
That's
this
a
is,
good
we have the
point.
medium now, right?
We do it 1 and 2, but we don't do it in mass.
Okay, so time to get in the game, guys, right? Right? Work
I'm
it-
ready
get
to
things
go.
done. So, okay, any other announcements? I know Monday's a holiday, but, you know, that don't apply to us,
Not
we're on the game,
Halloween.
right? We're gonna be, we'll still do full-timers meeting Monday morning, we're still doing training Monday night, right? Monday night's gonna be really good, we're keeping on the system.
Is there, okay.
Right? Go ahead.
No.
Okay, all right, any questions about anything? Thank you, Neeyah. Have a good week. Thank
If you have questions, if you, everything I showed you, I'm sure you can find out, but if you just wanna, you can hit me up, my phone number,
Oh, yes, can we
text
write
me.
that down? What is it, Neeyah?
You can hit me up on Messenger.
Is it 323 number?
No, it's 310.
A ver.
310-913-6555.
No, 913-6.
Neeyah Francois,
How do you write your name?
like that.
Like that, and FRANCOIS.
Francois.
Is it Neeyah?
NEEYAH.
Is that French?
Francois
It is.
is,
Francois.
yeah, it's not.
Wow.
Yeah.
Spell your last name again?
Your
FRANCOIS.
husband's French.
What is your ethnicity, right, Francois? Because, you know,
It's my husband's last name.
okay, what is his ethnicity?
His family's, they're Creole.
I was gonna say Haitian?
No,
Right.
Creole.
C-O-I.
Because I know Haitians have a lot of French influence.
French and black, but
Right.
it's like his grandma speaks a
Is he from Canada?
New Orleans, bro.
So question for you. My phone has 3,600 contacts in it.
Oh, Francois.
So I can download that into a spreadsheet and upload it into,
Yeah, you can
right?
download
So if I
it.
can get this on a spreadsheet, then I can upload them into there and start organizing.
Yes.
Ooh, that's huge.
Customer
That's
relationship
huge.
management.
I feel, every time I see that, I need this.
Ay, ay, ay.
I know, it's a lot.
Don't be mad, don't be mad at me, don't be mad at me, Isaac.
Oh, yeah, thank you.
I would just do both.
Guys, really quick before you go, thank you, Michelle, she put this up here.
Thank you, Michelle.
We're doing a local, right, we're gonna run it our team. So corporate is not gonna have any influence on this
So
event.
it's
We're-
gonna be here in San Diego?
It's gonna be in San Diego,
San Diego
location
is
to be
only-
determined, whether we do just the Courtyard Marriott that we did a few years back. It's gonna be probably, we're gonna try to keep the tickets as low as possible, $20-25 to pay for the venue, right? Guests we're gonna do a BPM and it's gonna be an all-day training, but the cool thing about this training is many of our leaders here will be doing training, right? So we want this is for our Empower team, right? So Yuma, any other new associates we give them
Email
now.
Central.
Okay,
So then if we-
Saturday the 13th, right, so we're gonna create a whole event, like registration, probably do it through Eventbrite or something like that, we're looking at maybe $25 per person.
So we're gonna do the same thing, that if they wanna stay the second half, they gotta fill out the
Yeah, we'll
Client
create a
app.
strategy, right, yeah,
When's the
for sure.
corporate event?
Right,
Sorry,
we don't have an event right now.
agent app,
It's gonna
We
be
don't.
what
fun,
you call
right?
it.
What was that?
We don't?
Not yet,
Because usually we
right.
have something like the last,
What I wanna do, and I think we're ready for that, is, obviously we'll have the Wealth Bowl, corporate's still gonna have some events, but I feel very strongly enough to start creating our own events. Right, obviously if we have Dago Down as a guest speaker, because we have a lot of things now that are, the majority put on their plate, let us control that here. Right, that when we get together, let's create the content for these events, right, let's create the curriculum for these events. And we execute, right? We have to know how to run our own big events, right? This is another way for us growing, right? For us to go out there and do.
I think we're way ready.
We're ready, right? So we'll do some plan for that over the next
Yeah.
month. But just put that on your calendar, right, for April 13th. I know that's around spring break.
I think it's after.
We
I
should
think it's on
probably
Sunday.
schedule out the next two after that on Monday, so that we have them on the calendar.
Yeah. That's a Saturday, yeah, it's a super Saturday, just one day. It's just a one-day event, right?
Can
It's
we
gonna
come
be all day.
out?
Can we,
No, for sure, yeah. Yeah.
Can we make a generic ticket or something that we can use? That's
Yeah.
kind of like a ticket, but it's actually more like a flyer ticket or something.
I got a really good website, really cool, man.
We should make one of those sooner than later, because I really want to market this thing and get some people there.
We do.
It's time to pack the
It's gonna be
room.
coming out, so we gotta
Yeah,
Okay, thank you for that, Michelle. Any other questions?
I'm not happy with the last two showings.
Peace.
We need the new pack where
You're welcome.
we just keep
Thank you
everybody
guys,
busy.
too.
Can we talk about putting a webinar together?
Yeah, we can.
Give me those contacts, man. I'll
This
get on
needs
the
to be an
phone.
automated,
Please.
like, you know, if
Yeah,
I gotta do something,
I
I don't
may
know how
have
to do that. Like, I don't got time to sit down and teach you how to do it.
My problem is I really don't need to make contacts anymore. I need to get in the field.
Yeah.
That's where I'm at.
Let's talk Monday.
Sarah, thank you so much for everything you do for the team. We appreciate you.
You know, and just
God
kinda
bless you.
introduce you and just
You're
like,
awesome.
have-
Thank you very
Like, guys,
much.
I'm-
Blessings, and I can't wait to see what's gonna happen this year.
Yeah, let's set the mind
Can't
up.
wait.
Very basic
Right.
stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, I can do that.
You know, it really is kind of freaking me out a little bit, because I use 2 different CR systems all day,
Like,
every
They
day.
can print it out.
And I add data every day, and I
So it's like I
update
have a
them,
webinar
and
and